I'm going to preview the Baylor versus TCU women's volleyball matches. And yes, it is matches because it's back to back against TCU November 10th and 11th at 7 p.m. Central Time on ESPN Plus or there's live stats. And I'm going to go over the record right now. Baylor is 14-9 overall, 8-5 in the conference, and they should be in the top 25. They went 2-0 last week. It's a definite. It's a matter of how much will they move up is the question. Maybe one spot or two. I don't know what they're going to do with the rankings. Well, TCU, on the other hand, they're 13-12 overall, and 6-8 in the conference. So yeah, that's a key thing to note here. And I will put the roster for TCU and the stats for TCU in the description below, so y'all could see it between now and then. And I will release it like sometime this week. So just an FYI. Who are some players to keep an eye on? Like Riley Buckley, number 2. A 6'1" setter that's a sophomore. Yeah. She has 34 kills on 100 attempts with 13 attacking errors, but she leads the team in assists with 617. They have she has 3 service aces, 3 service errors, 180 digs, 39 blocks. 2 of those are solo, 2 blocking errors, 14 ball handling errors. Now, Sarah Sylvester, number 4, is the next player to keep an eye on. A 6'3" middle blocker that's a sophomore. So yeah. 59 kills on 180 attempts with 26 attacking errors, 11 assists, 14 digs, 114 blocks, but 10 of those are solo, by the way, and 6 blocking errors, 1 ball handling error. Jalen Gibson, number 5, is the next player to keep an eye on. A 6'2" outside hitter from a 6'2" outside hitter that's a sophomore. 282 kills, which is second most on the team, on 751 attempts. 89 attacking errors, 18 assists, 21 service aces, 30 service errors, 2 receiving errors, 202 digs, 61 blocks. 2 of those are solo, 4 blocking errors. Taylor Raiola, Raiola, number 6, is a 6-foot outside hitter that's a senior. 50 kills on 150 attempts with 27 attacking errors, 12 assists, 8 service aces, 4 service errors, 10 receiving errors, 118 digs, 10 blocks. 4 of those are solo. So Julia Adams, number 12, I might as well mention her, even though she's played 51 sets this year. A 6'3" outside hitter that's a grad senior, like a senior. 55 kills on 201 attempts with 33 attacking errors, 3 assists, 4 service aces, 8 service errors, 2 receiving errors, 31 digs, 6 blocks. 2 of those are solo. Now Brianna Green, number 13, actually number 10 according to the roster. And why they put that in the stats and her number is 13, I don't know. But either way, 100 Brianna Green is a 6'1" middle blocker that's a grad senior. So yeah, 128 digs on 294 attempts with 50 attacking errors, 6 assists, 1 service ace, 7 service errors, 22 digs, 106 blocks. 18 of those are solo, 5 blocking errors, 2 ball handling errors. Now Audrey Knowles, number 15, is the next player. Keep it on. 6'1" outside hitter that's a grad senior. 259 kills on 708 attempts, 129 attacking errors, 16 assists, 22 service aces, which is most on the team, 29 service errors. Actually, second most on the team on aces, but you get the point. 18 receiving errors, 203 digs, 156 blocks, 11 of those are solo, 7 blocking errors. Now I'll go down a little bit because the next two players I don't have to mention. Lily Nicholson, number 21, is a 5'11" setter. That's a freshman, so she has played some. 12 kills on 36 attempts with 4 attacking errors, 348 assists, 4 service aces, 10 service errors, 90 digs, 10 blocks, 1 of those is solo, 6 blocking errors, 5 ball handling errors. Now Melanie Para, number 23, a 5'11" outside hitter. That's a junior. 373 kills, which is most on the team, on 969 attempts, which is most on the team, with 143 attacking errors, which is most on the team in that category. 21 assists, 38 service aces, 81 service errors, leads the team in both categories. Once again, 24 receiving errors, which is most second most on the team, actually. 189 digs, 55 blocks, 8 of those are solo. The next player to keep an eye on as well is Riley Wiglet, Weigelt, number 33, a 5'9" defensive specialist / libero. 10 kills on 25, actually 1 kill on 4 attempts, 5 assists, 8 service aces, 8 service errors, 37 digs. That's it. But the last player, keep an eye on, is Cecily Bramschreiber, and a 5'9" defensive specialist / libero. And if that last name sounds familiar, I'm going to tell you why in a second when I. It's because her sister is Chanel, a former Baylor player, and she was also at Wisconsin. But you get, for one year, but you get the whole point. That last name sounds so familiar. 1 kill on 11 attempts. That's it. 114 assists, 24 service aces, 22 service errors, 27 receiving errors, 357 digs, 2 ball handling errors. So, and I do not know the status on Kendall Stowers for Baylor at this time because she's still dealing with concussion protocol because she did not play in the last 2 matches. When you look back at the stats, she has not played the last 2. And it takes 4 days in a row without concussion symptoms to even think about playing or practicing again. So I hope she is available, but if not, next player up mentality, which that's what they've been doing, and they almost beat Texas without her. So it just goes to show how good this team can really be. So and that kind of makes it like a point of Ali Check has to step up, and even Manuel Bimbimbe, even though she is a middle blocker, and same thing goes for Elisa Andrews as a middle blocker, Elise McGee has to step up, which she got career high in kills against Oklahoma last week with 21 of those. So, and you kind of have to Riley Simpson as well, maybe in Kendall Murphy or Sophia Kane, but you get the whole point. You got to have other players step up in that category, and you guys, and even like Tahani Ula Fatu, like just in the serving alone, that needs to step up, But you get the whole point in all this, and Avery Carlson and Lauren Brasinia, but you get the whole point. You gotta have other players step up in their specific roles to kind of make up for one player down. I'm just telling you that. So obviously you want to limit your errors across the board as much as possible in all this, and we don't want to have like out of rotation error, because they will call it, and you don't want to touch. You can't touch the net because if you do touch the net, it's pointing the other way. I'm just telling you that, and obviously you gotta serve well, and you gotta be more consistent and serve well, which will keep them out of system. Well, try to keep yourself prevent yourself being out of system as much as possible. But if it happens, just make adjustments on the fly. And I know for a fact that you need to find a way to limit those best players possible in those specific categories in terms of the kill category, and dig every ball as you can and play solid defense, block, get more block, and have your blocking step up. And of course, you don't want them to block you so much. And we just got to come out with energy and be more consistent, because that Oklahoma match was really tight. I mean, at the very end, but then they bounced back pretty good against Texas Tech, and yes, it got a little bit closer in the first set, but then they swept them though. That's the most important thing. So obviously you're coming off a little bit more rust, so you gotta have to take away strengths away for TCU while limiting your attack, exploiting those weaknesses. And I know they're probably looking at the film on them and try to see what they're doing. And of course, you got to vary up your offense so you don't be so predictable offensively. But if you could tell there's a pattern going on for TCU, try to take that away. I mean, that's the truth. And all this. And you just need to go out there and show TCU who's boss, especially in a rivalry like this. And I get that it's not as huge as football, but you get the point. It's important to be a rival in this, and you gotta try to put them away on the try going for a spike. Of course, I know sometimes and try to make it so hard for TCU to dig every ball as possible. And of course, I know I said limit your errors across the board, but especially your attacking errors and your service errors. But as long as you're serving as well, I don't mind the service errors as much. We just don't want to give free points away. I'm just saying. And of course, if there is an overpass going your direction, you got to take advantage of it. You just got to. I mean, it's what essentially like all you have to do is just get that point is in your favor. You got to take advantage. And I would also say you got to win the long rallies a little bit more. I mean, that's the truth. Winning the long rallies would really help in this match. And I will say this about TCU, first of all. They pushed Iowa State. I mean, they only lost 3 sets to 2 to them in the first match, but then they got swept. They beat UCF 3 sets to 1. But we beat UCF twice. But they lost to UCF before, like 3 sets to 1. They even pushed Texas 3 sets to 2 also. So it just goes to show they can be pushed. So you can't overlook them by any means. I mean, that's the truth. And they even lost to West Virginia 3 sets to 2 also. So yeah, and Kansas State as well 3 sets to 2. So they have been competitive. Of course, you need to be ready for a war with them, because anything could happen with them. Even though they were swept against Iowa State, the last 2 sets were close, like 25-22 and 25-23. So I'm just saying, and you gotta have other players step up. You gotta play clean volleyball as much as possible. You gotta have a good side out, like percentage wise, compared to the other team. That would really help, and that sometimes is the difference in the matches. Because if you could just keep the point, you win your point on your serve, so many points in a row, that would really help. Of course, you got to adjust from match 1 to match 2, and not just from match 1 to match 2, but during the match as well. Because it is important to make adjustments. Because if they take away the outsides a little bit, you can try to go more middle. And you got to play like good transition volleyball at times, and you have good passing, because if you get good pass, like good receiving, a good pass to set up a kill, That really helps. And let's just go to work, come out with energy, and keep that energy all match long. And not go up then down. Please. And I get we won against Oklahoma 3-2, but our winning percentage when it comes down to 3-2 matches, we lost like 1, 2, 3, 4 of those already, and we only won like 1. Obviously, the Rice match, that's 2, and Ohio State match. Yeah, 3 and 4. So yeah, that's the deal with that. We just need to be more consistent as a team throughout the match and keep the energy level up. And this is a match right here that you could very well, not just one match, but both, if you take care of business against TCU, you could very well move up in the standings potentially. And I'm saying that because, or just keep yourself where you're at no matter what, because there's a shot that Kansas, and maybe, I don't know, Kansas loses this week, but there's a shot down the line that you could move up in the standings if you take care of matches against teams that you should beat. Though granted, you did lose to SMU on the road unexpectedly. There were stealing votes. You lost to Iowa State and Kansas State. So I'm just saying that, just as a point of reference on that. So yeah, that's a really big, and I know Kansas plays at Iowa State, so maybe they lose one or both of those matches, and that would really help. But you got to take care of your business, and you got to take care of business at home, because every home match you have a shot, at least a shot, and especially against probably an unranked team in TCU, and they are really desperate for a win right now because in terms of RPI, they're not. They're not as high. They probably have fallen in RPI, but the last RPI was like 36, and I'm sure it's going to drop a little bit. So this is not like a snooze fest by any means, because they are potentially an NCAA tournament team, but at the same time, they lost to Iowa State, who had an RPI of 52. So they lost them not just once but twice. So they're probably going to fall down a bit. But either way, you need to find a way to win this match somehow, whether it's 3-1, 3-2. 3-9 obviously is the preferred, but 3-1 or 3-2. Out of those 3 possibilities, you need to find a way to win this match in order to think about moving up in the poll, which I know we don't really look at the poll particularly. But I'm just saying, if you wanted to give yourself a shot down the line to be a top 16 seed, you got to win all the matches that are unranked at this point. And let's try to get some momentum going into the, like, after this match we play, and the next 2 matches, we play Kansas at Kansas, and they're a top 15 team. So you got to have some momentum, and hopefully by then you have Kendall Stowers back, but hopefully it is this week, just to get her some reps. I'm just saying that as a point of reference, and it would really help to have her back, because that's one of your better outside hitters and one of your better players on the team. But if nothing else, you gotta have to step up in every category possible, like digging every ball, out blocking the other team. You don't want to have them block you as much. You gotta have more kills than them. You gotta have more assists. You gotta win the long rallies. You gotta serve well. And that's the truth in all this. We have a chance to potentially give ourselves a maybe shot to a top 16 seed in the NCAA tournament, which I know that's far down the line here. I know it is, but look, it's really close, because the selection show is November 26th. That's Sunday, so yeah, we're really coming around the like 16 days away. 16 days away from the first match against TCU, but obviously it's a little bit further since I'm doing it ahead of time on this, but you get the whole point. It's November 26th, and you need to find a way to take care of business at home, especially this late in the year. You got to play your best in going into the NCAA tournament here because, one, it helps your seeding. Even if you're not top 16 seed, you could go somewhere else and potentially win that first and second rounds there as well. But I'm just saying, let's go out there, take care of business at home, and come out with energy and don't let up one bit. And if you are up 2 sets of none, try to put them away in 3. That way you don't have to deal with this as much. And I know Ron McGuire for a fact has only lost twice in the back-to-back format in the Big 12 on like back-to-back matches against one team. So, and those 2 losses were to Texas. So that's saying something right there. So yeah. So anyways, if you like this content, like and subscribe button. See you guys later on the road to 600 subscribers. Of course, the ultimate goal is 1,000 or more. So I can make money off this. Of course, liking the video, commenting the video really helps the YouTube algorithm so more people can see it. And I appreciate y'all for watching. If you're watching and you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button because it's free, and hit the notification bell as well so don't miss any of these videos here.